Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is 20 and something, the podcast where we discuss everything affecting 20-year-olds, everything 20-year-olds are going through throughout this period. So if you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and please share this video with your people so that they may subscribe as well and we may learn or enjoy whatever it is that we're going to be talking about. So anyway, I have recently been seeing this trend on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, where people talk about the things that they wish they knew when they were in their 20s. And I just thought that since we are in our 20s, I presume everybody watching this podcast is in their 20s, let's talk about it. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So the first thing is that your 20s don't matter. And I think this is false, obviously, because when you're in your 20s, that's when you're supposed to be discovering what you like, discovering your passions, discovering your talents. However, I can also see the other side of it where, because 20s tend to be challenging, you tend to not know what you want to do with your life, you are still experimenting, you're still trying to figure out what you want to be with your life. So the point of this statement is actually to give you hope and tell you that no matter what you're doing, even if it's not really yielding anything substantial, by the time you are 30, you would have figured it out. So don't be hard on yourself thinking that, oh, by this time you're supposed to have done this, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be having a career, you're supposed to be having a boyfriend, you're supposed to be buying a car, traveling. No. So this statement is actually relative. So you can look at it from whichever perspective you want. And yeah, let me know what you think. Next agenda, or rather next point, not agenda. Apply lotion. You are too young to have crusty hands and ashy feet. So true, by the way. Take care of yourself. From the smallest, tiniest details, dress well, dress appropriate for you, depending on what you're doing. If you're going to the office, dress nicely. People will take you more seriously if you're dressing appropriately. Apply sunscreen. Sunscreen is not for cool people. Apply sunscreen. Do not get sunburns. Hygiene. Practice hygiene, by the way. Use deodorant, please. We are begging. At this point, we are begging. Use deodorant. Moisturize yourself. Have a skincare routine. These things are not for only people who influencers. I've had people say that skincare routines is just for influencers. Develop one. These things are becoming more accessible, more affordable for most people, that is. So this one I absolutely agree with it. Just apply some lotion on those hands. I think we are on the fifth point, maybe sixth. Number 5, nobody really cares about what the bleep you're doing. When you are seated with your idea, you think of, oh, I want to do this. I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a business. And now you are seated there thinking that, oh, what are my former high school mates going to think? Gee, what are my family? Let me tell you, if they really cared, I would not be having 3 subscribers on this channel. I'm just saying. So you might be focused on what people are going to think until you postpone or procrastinate what it is that you want to do with your life, and you don't pursue your dream. Because let me tell you something, if the idea you have, no matter how stupid you think it is, if deep down in your soul and in your gut you are convinced that that is what you want to do, please just do it. Stop wondering what people are thinking, because people are busy and people have things to do with their own lives. So nobody is really worried about what you're doing with yours. sucks. It is okay to admit that your relationship is stagnant and that it is not serving you well and you need to leave. It's okay to go back to school and learn a new, like, change your path. If the course you did is not fulfilling to you, it is okay to go and get another degree or diploma. It is okay to talk to someone when you don't feel good about yourself. It is really important that you seek help and do not feel judged for it, because again, mental health is really, really important for you, and you have to be okay so that you can live a fulfilling life. It's okay to travel without feeling guilt. If you're earning money in your 20s, if you're getting good money in your 20s, it's okay to go and travel, because traveling is something you want to do. You do it. Do not think about, oh, I have to, okay, now invest again. You plan yourself but if you want to travel, just do it. Do not feel guilty about traveling. Do not feel guilty about spending your hard-earned cash. Yeah. The next thing that I've seen is that school is for knowledge and not for getting a job. And especially with this generation, with this time where jobs are very, very difficult to get, school is not for getting a job. You need to go to school so that you can develop your brain to maturity, and so that you can stop acting like a crazy person out here. I'm not saying that people who are not educated and are crazy, but you know how when you go to school, I think you tend to reason a bit well compared to people who might have not gone to school. Again, going to school does not guarantee you a job in this society of today. Many other forms and sources of income have emerged and developed, and you can still choose to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. But just having knowledge, just having that critical thinking and understanding about life is really important, which most of the time is acquired through school, because school really molds you. Me personally, I don't really get when people say nowadays school is not important. I side him too. I think when it comes to reasoning and thinking about general stuff and life, people who have gone to school have a higher hand. The next thing is that comparing yourself to others is counterproductive. 100%. This one I agree. I agree with it, that you can't stay here and start comparing yourself with Nepo babies whose fathers are fighting graft corruption cases in court. You are there, you have been afforded with a nice life, but not that extravagant and luxurious life. That life comes with other strings attached to it. So do what you want to do with your life. Stop looking at who is doing this, who is traveling. Now you want to get alone and go and travel. Nope. We are not doing that in our 20s, because we are learning from people who have been in their 20s, and they are telling us comparing yourself to other people is counterproductive. Yes, it is. The last point, which this is a relative point and might be controversial, especially to us who have been raised in African homes with the understanding that family is everything and you need to stick to your family. So this person says you need to cut off your family if they are toxic and they are a hindrance to your dreams. Now, I see why I can agree with this point, and I see why I can't agree with this point. Let me start with, I can't agree with this point because, again, I've been raised in a family that loves each other. Not really we just have this normal family wrangles, not the extreme, not the toxic situations. I am lucky enough, and I can't cut off my family, obviously. I love them, I appreciate them, and they support me in everything they do. On the other side, I have actually listened to stories on here, on the internet, where some parents are really toxic, some parents are actually really, really bad, because there's even a story of where some parents SA their children, some parents steal money from their children, some parents, it's all sorts of stories, very, very, very weird, nasty stories. So I can see why sometimes you just need to distance yourself from your family. And I think just maybe being somebody who hasn't been in that situation, I would really maybe talk to them first before you think about cutting them off. And if they do not listen and invalidate your feelings, then there's nothing you can do. You just cut them off, wish them well, and do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. Having said that, when you want to do certain things in this life which are bad, there are some things that you might want to do with your life that are very questionable. And when your parents or your family comes in and tells you, please do not do this with your life, they try and advise you not to do what it is that you are intending to do. That's not toxicity, like you need to understand what these toxic families are. You do not need to misuse this thing. When you want to, for instance, when you are deep in alcoholism and people are just trying to help you, they are not toxic. They are warning you that this behavior that you are developing is not good for your health. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, because I don't want a really, really long video, I want short, engaging videos. Anyway, the last thing that I've seen that really made me laugh actually is that heartache is a good sign that the heart still works. So fall in love as many times as you want, over and over again, get dumped, experience heartbreaks, and move on with your life. Unaoga na unarudi soko, usiogope. But remember, STDs are out here, so you better, do the necessary, use protection, be careful, practice safe sex. Yeah, so the last thing is that finally, after all that, because I know there are so many things that you might have seen, you can comment down below and we can discuss. And after preaching, after talking about all that, the last message that I want you to, if there is anything you can take away from this video, is that God did not create you to live that basic life because of your fear. Do not let fear hinder you from doing what it is that you want to do with your life. The idea you have is not stupid, it is just yet to be actualized. So in case you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Let's grow together. We are going to be having very, very engaging and let's just say good talks on here, things that 20-year-olds are going through generally in life. And I hope that you really enjoy. Subscribe, please subscribe, like these videos, share them with people who you think might be interested. And until next time, bye guys.